We are live, and we're getting a heater tonight. I hope you're okay with that. Let's see. That's weird. Okay. Well, why is this not? Oh, there we go. Okay. What's happening, FreshBaked? Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you guys had a great holiday. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Media Cube. Love seeing you using the new icon graphics. We finally got around to doing that. One of the things that I did over this past weekend is I'm sufficiently frustrated with making thumbnails that I hired somebody. I'm like, Harry, go do something with this. Do something with these things that I commissioned and really like, but I don't know how to make into a proper thumbnail. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Shall we set a goal tonight, guys? Crisp high five. Okay. Where are we? I would love to go on a Disney cruise. That sounds like fun. Thank you to Wendy Murray for the $10 gift. Give me 1 second. She says Merry Christmas, and I agree. Merry Christmas, everybody. It's the day after, but just the same. I hope everybody had a good week or Christmas holiday. How does this goal work, Lisa? It doesn't work. Lisa, we just set a goal. I would like to collect 30 super chats, but I mean, if we do or don't, it doesn't really matter. It's just something for people to get excited about. You know, maybe something happens, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Why is that saying 0 of 30 though? That's weird. Oh, did I just do that? Wait a second. Oh, never mind. Bruce Bergman, we need signs of annual passes coming back. We need a little Christmas just this very minute. I think you're doing a song right there. But I agree. The sign will be, did I set it for teal only? That's what I thought. So how do I do that? Let's see. Remove goal. Remove. We'll try again. Teal or, well, no, I had it right. It was teal or higher. Okay, never mind. We'll start that again. Yeah, the signs will be after the holiday, I think. January 5th. Watch for that. That's what I'm getting. Millennium Falcon was 75 minutes wait time today, while Rise was 50. Well, that actually, I know it looks weird and it sounds weird, but that's actually more likely a product of them losing some of the ride vehicles. There's a turn, I don't know how many there are. I want to say, is it 12 or 16? There's actually, it's at least 12 Millennium Falcon cockpits. And so when the attraction is working optimally, they're using all 12, maybe 16. I think it's 4 and 4. 4 bays, and each one has 4 on it, you know, on a turntable. So if they're down, a bay or two, then that's going to really impact the wait time. Eric's here. Get the $10. Thank you. What's a holiday tradition that you love that the parks do? Small World Holiday? Does that count? I absolutely love Small World Holiday. That should count, right? Yeah, it's not working. That's so weird. It's not accumulating. It says Teal Super Chats, but if I remove it, let's try that again. It says teal and higher. Let's just do all the colors. You know what? Let's just start that. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, where was I? Oh, I got another super chat. Bernadette gifted $1. Thank you very much, Bernadette. Radiator Springs Racers was 150 minutes yesterday. Dole Whip Clemens get the $10. See, this is not working. It's not working. You get the $10 going on a one day January 3rd, going to get Lightning Lane premiere. Oh, do you know if they ever sell out? I don't think they've sold out at Disneyland. They're selling out regularly at Walt Disney World, though. But I don't think they're selling out here at Disneyland. I wouldn't worry about it, to be honest. Man, you're baller. You're going for the whole thing, huh? Right now, Radiator Springs Racers is 130 minutes. Guys, they don't need us. Not during the holidays. They don't need us, man. Did you guys watch our State of video? I know that we're in the holiday period, and there's not a lot. People aren't really inspired to be, because everybody's taking a break, and they're with family and everything. So you may lose track of all the stuff that FreshBaked is doing. But our State of Disney report, we asked that question. Like, at what point does Disney need Magic Keys, and what point do they not? Right now, they do not need us at all. Random Fist get the $5. Thank you. Going to Disneyland for the first time in 15 years next. 15 years. Holy Toledo. The 22nd, 23rd, a Wednesday and Thursday. Do you think crowds should be low then? You're going in January 22nd and 23rd? You're probably in pretty decent shape for those days. You're probably okay there. Did you get a video of Sophia on the Matterhorn? We were at night, and I tried to get her in like a selfie. I sat in the front, and then she sat behind me, and then Liz sat behind her, and I tried to like shoot this way. I tried to get her like her reaction, but it's so hard. Like I had to kind of look back to make sure she was in the frame, and I couldn't do it. I tried, but there was the 8 seconds of footage that I got before at launch, before we went up the first hill. It was such a fascinating mixture of fear and excitement. Like she wasn't sure how to feel about that situation. It was pretty great, but she liked it. She had a great time. She's a bit of a daredevil. At home right now, she's probably climbing on a piece of furniture and jumping off of it somewhere. Guardians was 180. Maron. That's incredible. Scott Gustin confirmed the Disneyland Railroad January closing date. So we have an actual date. It's probably on the calendar. I'll look at that. I'm doing construction tomorrow, so we'll talk about that in that video. I'm sure we'll have it good to go and all straightened out by Monday. I'm sure. That was, yes, Lisa. That was her first time riding the Matterhorn. She's now, she might be 42 inches. We think she might be 42 inches, which gets you on basically every attraction except for Indiana Jones, I think. WDW, this is from John Ray. WDW YouTubers say Disney doesn't want key holders because they don't spend money in the parks. Outside visitors do. Your thoughts? That's crap. I know it's easy to say that, and Disney gets caught in that conversation all the time. Because they think about it in terms of per guest spend. And yeah, definitely per guest spend, the single day ticket holders are going to spend more per visit than they do versus a per visit guest who's an annual pass holder. But we're there for all the big merchandise events. We're there for the new food. We're there for all kinds of stuff. I promise you, I will outspend any one of you. Go up and down the list of those people who are in the parks once or twice, 3 times a year. I outspend every single one of you. I am sure of it. Now, it may take me more trips to do it, and maybe that's some math that Disney wants to get into. Like, maybe that's why they don't want us, because our per guest spend is lower. But that doesn't mean you could just replace me. I don't think you can just replace me with another single day guest and get the same return. The return on investment from pass holders is still pretty good, in my opinion. What Disney's trying to do, the reason why what Disney's trying to do with annual pass holders is to keep them. They're trying to collect the revenue, the $1,700 a month that I spend on my annual pass. They want to collect that money and then not let me in the park so that they can sell my ticket twice. So they can sell my ticket, whatever whatever my visit to the park that month was. If it's, let's say I go once a month. So my average ticket is $150 or something. Let's just for argument's sake, sell that ticket and then make it so hard that I can't get to the park, and then sell another ticket to the person who takes my place. That's what Disney's trying to do. I think we're fine on how much annual pass holders spend on merch and on merch and product, food. Everybody is an expert on this, but I approach things from a different perspective. And so, maybe I'm not right. I don't know. Maybe it is just that. But I get where they're coming from, but I don't think it's accurate. I don't think it's the whole story, at least. Okay, let me back up. I got a few things to catch up on. Thank you to Disney D for the $5 gift. Hello, David. Merry Christmas. Do you anticipate all refurbs complete and attractions open and running this summer? Yeah, I think they're going to have everything more or less ready by May 16th. Yeah. Locomotive, get the $5, just a test. That's great. We're just going to go ahead and like that. Thank you very much, Test Do Knob. Target thing. I don't know what that's for. Palos Adventures. Do you ever see the reservation system going away? Yes and no. On a long enough timeline, anything is possible. On a long enough timeline, they will find some reason that it's not working, just like they did at Walt Disney World. But no, because what it's doing is creating so much anxiety and so much fear of missing out, so much FOMO, false scarcity, that it's working in their favor. But I do think there's a down the line, I do think that there's a very good chance that we see something like, we've got the Lightning Lane Premier Pass, and the Lightning Lane Premier Pass is being sold for $400, being sold explicitly to the guest who doesn't want to make a Lightning Lane reservation. They just want to show up. You could draw a very direct parallel from that guest to the annual pass holder guest who simply doesn't want to make reservations and being told when they can and cannot show up. And that guest will also pay a premium. They're not the same guest necessarily. The Lightning Lane Premier Pass guest is definitely not the same guest as the annual Pass Premier Pass guest, but there are guests that do qualify for that. Now, what that number is, I don't know, but I think there is a future for that. Diz fan, how would you grade Bob Iger's job in 2 years under his tenure? A C. There are things, he got things smoothed out. He stopped the bleeding, but they have achieved nothing. Disney management has achieved nothing. They haven't overcome any obstacles. They haven't, delivered a better product than it was 4 years ago or 5 years ago, pre-COVID, let's say. There's no big advancement. There's nothing, they haven't made customers' lives better. They haven't made the product better in the sense that, we're in a better place than we were 5 years ago. I think I said that already. But he's also stopped the bleeding. So it's right down the middle for me, C. Maybe D. But But what I really want to see is I want to feel from Disney management, I want to feel valued. Plain and simple. I want to feel valued. And right now, I just feel like I'm a conduit for cash. And I don't like feeling like that. I don't like being lied to. I don't like the truth being obfuscated. I don't like, being manipulated and, just not, I don't, the world today requires transparency. And I hope we get it someday. I hope we do. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? Let me back it up. Nope. Okay. That's weird. We've got 2 that qualified. I wonder, that's so strange. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway. Let's close that. Laramie, what grabs the thesaurus? What did I oh, obfuscate? Is that the word? Is it obfuscate? Greg Kemp, it would be nice if Disney offered discount tickets for $50 for pass holders during the 2. They don't care about us, Greg. I'm just saying. Annual pass holders are seen as a necessary evil. They don't care about us. Keelan LaChica, get the $2. Thank you very much. Will I be in the park not for New Year's Eve? No, I will not be in the parks New Year's Eve. I can't get in the park. I'd have to pay my way in. Yeah, again, Laramie, I consider myself a pretty smart, but I don't think I've heard that one. Obfuscate means to deceive, basically. But it's sort of like to hide. There's somebody give me a definition of obfuscate, please. Give me the Merriam-Webster definition of obfuscate. Black MT, get the $5. Thank you very much. Do you think you and the family will ever do a Disney cruise? I would love to. Yes. Do you think they will ever cruise from the West Coast? They don't, do they? They don't cruise from the West Coast. But I don't know. I'll try to figure some way out to do that one day. To blame. I understand that reference. There you go. Chocolate Coffee Club, obfuscate, to obscure through multiple layers and even misinformation. I mean, that's a superpower that I have. That's exactly what Disney does. And that is my superpower, is trying to find the exact correct word for the situation at hand. And obfuscate, to obscure through multiple layers and even misinformation. That's what all this, the 7 tiers of pricing, there's 4 different annual passes. You got Lightning Lane Premier Pass, Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, Lightning Lane Single Use, all of this, and they're just trying to make it difficult for you to comprehend to the point where it's like, I give up. Here, take my $400, you jerks. That's what they're trying to do. Obfuscation is the goal. Disney Cruise does sail out of San Diego. Okay, that's good. Well, then I'll do that someday. When? I don't know. Not Jay Sands, get the $5. Thank you. Hey, David, do you think there's any chance that Disney will bring back electronica for the release of Tron Ares? My first instinct was no, that there's no chance of that because Disney doesn't do that kind of thing anymore. They do cheap things like Pixar Fest and whatever it is that Christmas thing is down there in Fantasyland. They don't do events like that anymore. But Tron Ares, I think, is going to need some kind of promotion because I don't think there's a lot of interest for Tron, even though it is an incredible thing to look at and to experience when you're in the parks at night and you go to Tron. Electronica was just amazing, but I wonder if Tron or if Electronica made any money. They sold the Tron disc. I bought a Tron disc, and I bought a few drinks, but I wonder if they make a lot of money. I don't know. Jennifer T, were you invited on the treasure and declined, or did you not get invited? I don't get invited to anything. To literally nothing. I don't get invited ever. And I know they know who we are. I know they know me. But no, I don't. I haven't been invited to anything literally since Galaxy's Edge. I have been completely ghosted. WDW Mickey, I feel like WDW management values their pass holders more than ever in years right now, and then it's the opposite in Disneyland. I couldn't speak to how WDW values their. I know it's not as big a deal, but for sure we are valued less than we used to be. Absolutely, here at Disneyland, absolutely. Do you know what fireworks show they'll have in between the end of Christmas and the beginning of the 70th? Mixed Magic is probably my guess. They're probably going to do Mixed Magic in between. Steve Isho, do you do private tours of Disneyland? No, we do not. That is actually prohibited. Guided tours at Disneyland are prohibited by the Disney company. So if I got caught doing that, that would greatly impact my relationship with Disneyland, to say the least. What is your take on DCA food? Which is your favorite? DCA food is, in general, I feel like better in most cases. I mean, you're more likely to get good food at DCA than you are at Disneyland. I'll say that. I have a love-hate relationship with park food. It's really good. It's better than any park food you'll get at any other park, be that Universal, SeaWorld, Knott's Berry Farm. Disney food is the best. But I eat it so much that I'm like, like I'd rather just get Taco Bell sometimes. So I eat way too much Disney food. But I think the DCA on the whole has better, like event food, like the food truck, the catering truck. The food truck in DCA is phenomenal. But yeah, so yeah, it's a kind of a love-hate relationship. Michael gets the $10. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if you already discussed, but why did you remove Barngate? Curious. Not trying to cause trouble. Love you, FreshBaked. There's a couple reasons. I didn't like it. I didn't like the video for a few reasons, and I kind of felt like I was doing it for the wrong reasons. And I got some things wrong, and I wasn't happy with the product. And I just said, you know what? I just don't want to make those kind of videos. It's the video had its heart in the right place, but in the end, I just wasn't happy with it. And it was doing well. It was doing pretty well. It was going to be a 1 of 10 for sure. But I just, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I love Disneyland so much, and I love the people who make it happen so much that I just couldn't, it just didn't feel good to me. So I guess that's the best way I can put it. Thank you to Soul Patrol for the $5 gift. Could you see them adding a higher tier Magic Key, which allows for no reservations and or the 2 weeks? Yes, I can see them doing that. I just don't know what that number would be. But that was just what I was referring to a little bit ago about there's a market for Lightning Lane Premier Pass, and in the same way, there's a market for a Magic Key Premier Pass, I think. Is it worth staying at one of the Disneyland hotels? I don't know. Worth is a relative term, because some people don't like how much hotels cost on Harbor, that kind of thing. But we went recently, and I had an amazing time staying at the Tropicana right across the street. I really enjoyed that experience. If it's just about the great experience, then yeah, it's worth it. But if you're on a budget, then maybe you go down the street a little bit. Ellison Acosta, will there be a Tiana's Tokyo Disneyland? I do believe the other Disney parks had it was suggested, or it was discussed, and they declined. They didn't want. Uh, they wanted to keep the Splash Mountain. Thank you to People Mover John for the $2. Thank you. Brandon, do you have any ideas yourself as to when the new Coco ride may open? It's going to be a while. Think 7 years or so. About 7 years, maybe. That's optimally speaking. It's going to take them 4 years to build it. Maybe 3. It's a dark ride, so it might not be quite as long as a roller coaster. But it's about getting the land ready and lining things up, because they don't want to have too much going on at the same time. So it's just a question of priorities for Disney, I think. And I think, well, I don't know. It could be a minute. It could be a little while. Do you miss Tower of Terror? You bet I do. If you told me they were going back to Tower of Terror today, I would be very happy. Not that I dislike Mission Breakout, at least not. I mean, personally, I prefer Tower because I can't handle all the ups and downs. Physically, Mission is very difficult for me. So in Tower, it was just like, what, 3 or 4 drops, I think? And they were, it wasn't nearly as aggressive as Mission Breakout is. But I mean, I know a lot of people love Mission. It's a very popular attraction, so I wouldn't want them to be, it's not up to me, and it shouldn't be what I want. Lots of people love Mission Breakout. It's busier. Mission Breakout is busier than Tower of Terror was. Holly Marie said, I'd rather have them start the Coco ride before they start the Avengers Campus ride. Well, it's already too late. Cat's out of the bag. We're getting Avengers Campus ride first. Chaston Palmier gifted $2. Thank you very much. Any construction update on Cotino? Somebody sent me a link. They got model tours now, but I drove by there about a month ago during Thanksgiving, and I got some video, actually. I haven't put it, maybe I'll put it in this week's construction update, but it's still mostly dirt. It's still almost completely dirt, so there's not a lot happening there. Courtney Edwards, Guardians theming is better for kids, and DCA desperately needs rides for kids. Well, there's that. Yes, that's a fair point. And also, they want to extend the Avengers Campus theme as much as possible as well. So I get why they did it. It makes sense. It doesn't surprise me, not at all. MX gifted 249. I'm going to assume those are pesos. I think. I don't know. Thanks for all your content. I've been a silent fan for years. Recently got DVC at the DL Villas. Cool. And in part, it's thanks to how contagious your love of Disneyland is. Look, Disneyland does all the heavy lifting on that. I don't have to, I love Disneyland. I know I'm probably an outlier, but you can't deny how amazing Disneyland is. Sometimes you just have to find your way. I'm trying SS. What else can they do at Avengers? Well, they're building 2 attractions. They're building 2 new attractions. So there's that. They could bring back some kind of show where Doctor Strange is. Oh, there you go, Valeria Dixon. I drove by there during Thanksgiving week, and that's the same time I was there, and it was mostly dirt. Yeah, it's still almost it's still probably 90% dirt, I think. But there are a couple models built that you can tour. R Harp, where did the large alligator go that was in front of the tiger before the refurb in Jungle Cruise? I saw it was gone in your latest update video. I don't know, but there's still 3 alligators, but it's no longer the 2 facing each other and the 1 big one. But there are 3 there, if I recall correctly, from thinking back at the footage I have. But who knows? I mean, it could have been that it was damaged or something like that, and they just didn't want to bring it back. It's not a big deal for me. I know people get caught up in that kind of thing, but I mean, that's not going to make or break the show for me. Fan of Toad, are you excited for Lunar New Year food? Always. I love Lunar New Year. It's my favorite event of the year, but I'm hoping that they can. The food on, obviously, Pixar Fest was bad food, and now Festival of Holidays, the food is not very good. I'm hoping that they can recover for Lunar New Year. Kay is back again with 49, again, I'm assuming pesos, that's MX. Is the monorail down for refurb in January? I haven't seen it on the calendar yet, but I haven't looked at it. I'm due to look into that on this Friday actually. So we'll have a report if it is on the calendar for January. We'll report on it in Monday's update, our construction update on Monday. Pop culture cards and crypto. I need some verification on this. Just Rode Pirates, and notice they took away Jack Sparrow sitting on the bridge and put a different pirate there. Wait, the bridge. Jack appears in just 2 places. He appears at the Carlos scene. He's hiding behind a clothes mannequin or something. And then he appears behind a barrel, but he's not on a bridge. Is there a third? Wait, somebody. Yeah, the bridge is the foot pirate, and he's gone. Well, at the end, yes. Yeah, he's at the lift hill, obviously. Is that what you're talking about? But those are the only 3 scenes that I could think of. Huh. Nicholas Miller, get the $5. Thank you. Hey, David, what attraction plus-ups would you like to see for the 70th, like we did the 60th, the new Yeti, Hatbox Ghost? I mean, I don't need plus-ups. I'm sure they're going to have everything bright and shiny. I want events. I want them to put on a show. I want more show. I don't need them to plus up attractions. Although obviously we are getting the Lincoln. That's a plus up. So I'm absolutely excited for that. I'll give you that. Well, but there's obviously is there a pirate missing from somewhere though? Maybe he's seeing an empty space where there was a pirate, but maybe not Jack Sparrow. But Dirtyfoot Pirate is still there. Last time, the Dirtyfoot Pirate was still there last time I rode, and that wasn't that long ago. Although his foot's not really dirty anymore, but. Lisa C, I miss the pirates that used to push the crates up the hill at the end. Well, we got rid of that when they got rid of, when they brought in Jack, right? But Dirtyfoot Pirate is still there, though. Unless he thought that Jack was next to the Dirty Foot Pirate. That was never a thing. Did somebody say the audio's not working? Any news on the Walt animatronic? Yeah, Greg, it's going to appear, it's going to make its debut on May 16th. May 16th. RNA Productions. Hey, David, love your content. When are you in the park next? Tomorrow. I'll be shooting Construction Recon tomorrow morning. Valeria Dixon. They need to bring in good entertainment. Those are great people eaters that free up lines and attractions. I agree. Put on a show. You know, I just wish they would think about that more because they half-ass that stuff so much now. Pixar Fest and the Christmas thing and all that. It was just so in Star Wars. What's it called? What's the Star Wars thing? It's just so halfway. I don't feel committed. I don't feel like they really care, and that they're just doing it so they can say so they have something to promote. But it's just the same food over and over, but with a different name. You know, it's the same food over and over with a different name, and just sort of meh additions. You know, I don't know, man. I just once Season of the Force. Thank you. I would love it if we could get somebody running Disneyland that truly loves the park. You know, just for a little while, that truly loves the park and loves guests and wants us to know it. I miss that. I miss it so much. I really do. I mean, Disneyland does a great job of entertaining guests, but understand, and this is something I've said before, Disney management today, from every theme park, Disneyland, DCA, all that, you know, every division of the company, they're all standing. They have been riding on the shoulders of giants for decades. They haven't achieved anything. They haven't achieved anything really great in I don't know how long. And they've just been riding the wake of what Walt and his Imagineers did in, you know, the opening decades of the show. And you could even extend that into the 70s and 80s beyond Walt, but, you know, or maybe not, I don't know. I mean, the Eisner era, they did some good things. But seriously, everything that's great, everything that you and I love about Disneyland, the reason why this channel exists, the reason why you and I are having this conversation right now is because of the things that were done in 1955. And what I should say, okay, we'll go up into the 65s, like with the monorail, and, you know, the Haunted Mansion and all that, Pirates. Everything that makes Disneyland great has been around for 50 years. And I don't get the idea that that's still on the top of their wish list to be great. That's why everybody's so excited about Epic Universe, is because what Epic is what Disneyland was back in 1955. Epic is just doing stuff where it's just like, oh my God, what is this? My head is exploding. My head is exploding with all this awesomeness. You mean there's that? And then, oh my God, the stupid thing in the Frankenstein wheel is on fire? It's going to be on fire? There's a dragon flying over the... What? You know, and I that's why people are... Because they're getting... Somebody said at the Universal company, this is why it's catching everybody's interest. Somebody said, screw it. We're going to throw $1 billion. We're gonna throw $7 billion at this park. And I don't even know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to be the best thing ever, but we're just going to go for it. And we're going to do something outrageous. And that's the part that people are, you know, and they're doing it. They're proving it with the images that we've seen so far. And I just don't feel like that's something that the Disney company is interested in doing today. Sorry, I got on a rant there. My bad. I miss those rants, though. Those rants are great. I love doing rants. Okay, let me catch up. Irvine Cattle Ranch, get the $10. Thank you. For my daughter Grace, she's a huge fan. Thank you very much, Grace and Irvine Cattle Ranch. People Mover John, get the $2. David, Del Taco or Taco Bell? I am a Del Taco guy, yes. Brend gifted $5. Thank you. I wonder how the next few months will impact plans at the parks. Are you feeling confident upcoming projects are going to move forward? Yeah, more or less. More or less. I just want more. Zyra Mariani gifted $50. Thank you very much. That's very generous of you. Thank you for all your Disneyland knowledge. Me and my sister Carly save so much time in the parks, especially refreshing mobile ordering, to get a sooner time. I don't ever not refresh anymore. Your pure joy and passion for Disney keeps the magic alive. We love you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. It's very kind of you to say all that. And then Laramie get the $2. That was an epic rant. Thank you. Alex Barron, I feel like it is partly on the visitors. We expect so high of Disney that they might be worried or of more poor press, so they try to stay neutral. Well, no, I would never blame the guest. Never blame the guest. We're just here to receive. And there's nothing that we're doing that's making Disney's job harder, for sure. Nor do I think that we need to speak with our wallet. As I mentioned in the State of Disneyland report, I don't think that's the issue either. It's not what we need. What the problem is that it's a committee, and there's too many people who are scared. That's why Walt was so amazing at what he did, because he didn't care. He didn't have a committee, and he did what he wanted. Walt wanted a giant train set to live in and play in, and so he built it. To be damned. Everybody told Walt, you can't do this. He's like, whatever, I don't care. I'm still doing it. He's famous for having done that. That's the whole thing. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing that made Disneyland great. It was the huge middle finger to there wasn't no such thing as a theme park before then, to amusement parks, right? And today is just, everybody's so scared because they don't want to fail, which I don't blame them in a sense, because, it cost $500 billion to build Galaxy's Edge. Who wants to commit that kind of revenue to a project that may or may not fail? That's why you need it to be private. Right? So things need to be privately done and privately financed, and not, financed by stocks and by committees and that kind of thing. Porkins, Walt saw the real Matterhorn in person and said, I want one. Walt went to Germany and saw a monorail and said, that's amazing. I love this monorail thing. He called up Bob Gurr, can you build that? Bob said, yes, and it was done. Like, that's how it was done. Bob said, I could do it. And Walt said, okay, go, do the thing, make it. And then they did. And that stupid monorail is still there today. That monorail is like my third favorite attraction in the entire park, and it hasn't changed. They haven't done hardly anything to that monorail. They made it longer. They made more of it. But it's still the same monorail that it was 50 years ago. And I tell you, when I say these things, like, everything that's good about Disneyland was built 50 years ago. TM get the $10. Thank you. I couldn't get the Disneyland during the Christmas season. I still got to enjoy the iconic holiday decorations and positive vibes of the park through your channel. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you very much, TM. But Eisner gave us Indy. Yeah, no, I would admit that there are things that Eisner did that are good. He screwed up some things too, but he at least had the balls. Eisner had guts. I'll give him that. And he said, this sounds like fun. I want to do this thing. Now, he wasn't quite the entertainer that Walt was. He didn't quite have his finger on the pulse of what guests would like. But he was, and I think the difference is that what Eisner was doing is what he thought would be cool to other people. Walt made things that he thought would be cool to him. Walt says, I want a Pirates ride. I want a Haunted Mansion ride. I want a monorail. I want a train. And that's the difference. That is the difference between Walt and anybody else who has tried to replace him over the years, is that once you start thinking about what you think other people might want, what artist Is there a real true artist out there who says, I'm going to make this painting, but first I want to ask you guys, what do you want me to paint? Like, is that a form of expression? And that's what Disneyland is expression, in my opinion. Disneyland is art, right? So no real artist is going out there taking a poll and finding out what he thinks that people want to see. He just wants to express himself. That's what true art is expressing yourself. So you got to give it to Walt, and I don't think we'll ever see anything like it. But that's Epic Universe. They're just like, whatever, man. Let's just make this thing. It's more Epic is more Eisner than Walt, but still, at least it's got balls. Michael gifted $10. That's it. That Epic Universe Fresh Baked mini rant just now. You aptly summed up the emotion of what captured our hearts. Well said, bravo. This makes me want to rewatch the Imagineering story. I mean, right? It makes sense. It makes sense. People are so curious, and but the kicker is that they've created a bunch of curiosity, but then they're delivering. And the visuals that we've seen from Epic Universe. When I saw that the windmill thing on fire, you guys, I mean, Disney would never build a burning windmill thing. They just wouldn't. They wouldn't. I hope it sticks. There's so much cool stuff that's happening at Epic. I hope they have the budget to keep it going, because that does worry me. That it's the kind of thing that they'll stop doing after a year. And certainly Universal's capable of that kind of thing. Ryan Lapastida, get the $5. Thank you. How good is Paint the Night in person? The single greatest achievement that Disney has ever made in terms of entertainment. It's the best. I love it. It's so much better in person than it is in a video. So much better. Disney had 2 fire-breathing dragons once. I'll give you that. Murphy at Fantasmic, that was balls. I keep using that term, but to build that thing took a lot of guts. So I will give them that. Now, that was 40 years ago, 50 years ago, or whatever. I don't know how long it's been since. It was the 80s, right? So that's almost 40 years ago. I'll give him. But is that the last thing? Indiana Jones was kind of gutsy. I'll give you that, Indiana Jones. But that's only Indiana Jones is half. Oh, it's 92? Okay. Indiana Jones is about half of what they actually conceived of. There was a whole thing. You guys remember, have you seen that concept art? Have you seen the original concept art for how they were going to put Indiana Jones and mix it in? There was with Jungle Cruise, and they were going to build the mine cart, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train ride. That's actually the ride that they had envisioned for India. The second ride. They were going to build 2 rides at Indy. And the second one was going to be what eventually became the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train ride. And it was all going to be incorporated together with the Jungle Cruise. It was fantastic. But they, got cut in half, a third. The full Dragon wasn't until 2009, really? Dicky Darden, do you think our paintbrushes will still work for Paint the Night? I have to think that they would, because it's the same floats, the same tech. I kind of think that they might. People Mover John, get the $2. Paint the Night or Electrical Parade? Paint the Night. Listen, when I say it's the single greatest show that Disney has ever created, I mean it's the single greatest show that Disney ever created. So you go ahead and name your parade, your fireworks, Fantasmic, whatever, you name it. Paint the Night is better than all of them. Alivra gifted $5. Thank you. I keep seeing teasers for Paint the Night. Is it actually coming back for the 70th? Yes, it actually is. May 16th. Yep. Lori Hartshorn. Why doesn't Walt's grandkids have control of the company? I don't think they have. Well, by control, do you mean like voting control? They don't own enough stock to have voting control. They have a voice. And they could, start a movement perhaps, but no, there's not enough, there's no Walt Disney descendant that has enough voting shares to make that kind of power. No. The Disney company is owned by the people. basically. And then the board of directors. The voice guy, Walt said, if I like it, the public's going to like it. Well, actually, I would disagree with that. I think, and he wasn't too proud to know when his ideas were stupid, but that's where it started. Anything, like the circus. I always use the circus as an example. Walt wanted to put a circus in Disneyland, so Walt put a circus in Disneyland, and it was around for not even a year, 6 months. And it was a terrible idea. Nobody wanted to go. Nobody wanted to check it out. It was a disaster, and so he took it out. He's capable of doing things wrong, but everything that, all the ideas and everything and that kind of thing, it just kind of began with Walt. Like he thought it would be cool, so let's give it a shot. Fan of Toad, I love Runaway Railway and the new Toontown. Just wanted to add some positivity. You're right. I would give them that too. Runaway Railway is becoming my favorite ride in the park, so that's got to mean something. They did that much right, at least, and they did a good thing with what they did to Toontown. But I don't know if it's really it's not like Epic Universe level. It's not like, oh my gosh, that's amazing creativity. It's good. It's really, really good. Larry, are you talking about Eisner and the giant inflatable floating tube things in Tomorrowland? Oh, you're talking about the Luigi's flying tires attraction, right? Yeah, and it didn't work, and you got rid of it. SoCal Family Adventures, get Tesla to sponsor a new Tomorrowland. I don't know why people keep getting hung up on this. Tesla doesn't even, they don't advertise. Do you guys know that that's not something that Tesla, it takes two. You can't just say, hey, Tesla, come sponsor our thing, and they're going to say yes. The other company has to also want to. And Tesla has no interest in doing anything with Disneyland. They don't even advertise. Do you guys, that's not a thing they do. They're not into that kind of thing. That's like the farthest thing that's ever going to happen is Tesla getting involved at Disneyland. Sheep Burgers gifted $5. Thank you. I saw your video about Tom Sawyer Island. Such a shame letting it degrade like that. It does have single-person restrooms, though. Yeah, they do still have, like personal restrooms. I'll give you that. Yeah, guys, Elon Musk is not interested in being in business with Disneyland. Not in the least. Hector Theodopoulos gifted $5. Thank you. We're rope dropping Disneyland in February. Where do you recommend we go straight to? Tiana's, Rise. Also, could we do it all without buying Lightning Lane? Happy New Year. Define doing it all. You can't do every ride in the park in one day without it. No. Where was I? No, okay, so I'm actually doing a video. We're putting out a video on Saturday. I did a rope drop test with Tiana's, and that should be out on Saturday, and I incorporate Tiana's into the routine to see how that works. But long story short, there's no reason to rope drop Tiana's, no. At least not until at least spring. Maybe spring and summer, you might want to think about rope dropping Tiana, but you do not. And I have been on the record many times as saying don't rope drop Rise. Put Rise, if you want to ride Rise in the morning, do it at like 9:15, somewhere around there, especially on a not busy day. Laramie, speaking of Tom Sawyer, dude, my life is, I'm just now starting to get things back up and running again. Look, I checked it out. This December, I have made 11 videos. Last December, I made 22 videos. I have basically taken December off. I've been doing the bare minimum. I've had a nice little break in December, but I'm now that Christmas is over, I'm like, the wheels are turning again, and we're going to be getting into something. So, yeah, that video will be getting done very soon, Laramie. Tom Fury, get the $5. Thank you. Any ambitions to someday visit Shanghai Disney? I'm going to visit everything. I'm going to do everything. Oh, you're just plugging? Well, yeah, I mean, it's coming. Laramie did a whole video, you guys, on the Mark Twain. Did you go on the island? I don't remember there being video of you being on the island. Were you on the island, or were you just going around on the Liberty Bell? And then Big Thunder. Stay tuned for that. Is there still a community poncho sharing for Tiana's? No, I don't think so. That's not the kind of thing that Disney would encourage. I don't think. No. So they probably, that ended real quick. You might see that. Yeah. Annie says, yes, someone handed me a poncho on Tiana's. What I'm talking about, what that person was referencing, was that people were leaving their ponchos on the rails at that tree at the exit. There was 20 of them, and you could just walk by and grab one. But obviously I could see people handing one off, and that's a thing for sure. I haven't looked at the footage, Laramie. That's what I'm saying, man. I've been on vacation. I've been on mental vacation. I know I saw the Big Thunder stuff on there, but I don't remember. I couldn't remember if I saw you going on the island or not. Yes, Cody Jackson, FreshBaked WW has been revived. Yes. Oh my God, we didn't do Who's in the Park. It is too late. It's now 7:57. Oh well, it's okay. We'll get you next time. We'll get you next week, because I do have to sign out. I can hear my kid yelling back there. She's getting ready for bed. Do you think they will ever reimagine Tomorrowland at Disneyland? Yes, someday, but it keeps getting kicked down the road because they have other things that they want to, put as a priority. But there are plans. They've actually drawn plans, multiple plans. No one is in the park. SoCal, you're probably right. I haven't heard a single person say I'm in the park. But people have been saying they were in the park yesterday. But no, because the people who watch this show are probably locals. I don't know. Did you ever get to the White Castle? They had a White Castle in DCA. The next video is a rope drop video on Saturday, and then I just shot a video today at Knott's Berry Farm. We're doing a day after Christmas video from Knott's Berry Farm, so stay tuned for that. But there you go, guys. It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to wrap this show up. I've got actually work to do tonight, so I'm getting the machine running again. I'm getting everything back into gear. So stay tuned for a whole mess of content, hopefully in January, etc. And we're going to get this thing cooking. So thanks for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh baked.